Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do a reading for you. Look, Gemini, we're going to be doing a reading for the in-between. So I'm talking about the in-between the eclipses, because we just had one on the 7th. It was a full lunar eclipse, right? And a full moon lunar eclipse. And then we're having one on the 21st in Virgo. So the first one was in Pisces. Second one's in Virgo, and that's a partial solar eclipse. So we're in the middle of all of that. And this is a really important moment in time right now, because the decisions, the conversations, the things you ask for, the things you think about and talk about are really paramount right now. I was saying in other videos here to the other members of the zodiac, just saying, I went out for 4 days, went to a cabin, and it was like everything I asked for, spoke about, mentioned, it came across my path within 48 hours. So 24 to 48 hours. So be aware that you're a witch and some of the things that you're going to be talking about could possibly come to fruition right away. That's sort of the energy of the eclipse. So, we had this, the Pisces full moon is like got us in the basement with the flashlight, right? Looking around, and things that we thought were done or gone, or all of a sudden we see them there. And so it feels like we're being asked to release control. This is the rebirth after the release. And so we're being in this emotional surge. The universe is asking you to just let things be as they are. If things are going to fall away, it's because they're supposed to fall away from your path. And, it's like a great spiritual reset that we're going through right now. And so it's not just personal, it's the world. It's things that are going wild all over the place. You can see it as much as I can. So we've got, what can you do at this time? Well, you can pause, you can journal your dreams. It's a time to distinguish what you can influence and what you need to just let go, because you're not going to have control of really a whole lot except your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So Virgo at the end of the month, the 21st, is going to encourage us to clean up and reorganize. And so things that, we have to accept that things are falling away here, and allow those things to fall away because we don't need them. They're not necessary. As much as we don't want to let go of them, they are not necessary. There we go. We've got the sarcophagus, right? That's where they used to lay their dead, right? When in the Middle Eastern, Egypt, around there, right? And so we've got the sarcophagus, we've got the card number 14, which is the fox, and then we have the cage here. I feel like somebody is feeling a little bit caged, possibly, or feeling like, I want to say that you've had the key in your hand for a while and the door is open, but you're still sitting inside the cage. It's like you haven't realized that you've been released, that you're released and you can go do whatever it is that you want. But I'm just going to say, be careful. Careful what's following you into the next cycle. We've got the fox that's looking over its shoulder. Card number 14 is alchemy, right? That is the temperance energy in tarot. So it is alchemy. So be careful. You're the alchemist. You're the person who is changing things. Literally, you are the magician right now. And things that are falling away from your life are supposed to be falling away. And card number 8, this sarcophagus here, tells me that it is leading you to a beneficial place. We do have the 9 of Pentacles in the bottom right hand corner. It's leading you to a beneficial place, but I feel like stepping away from it is going to be hard. It's like somebody is looking over their shoulder at the past here. So it feels like there's something that is going to be reorganizing itself that you don't have any control over. And it feels as though it's going to be hard for you to let go of, because the key is here, the cage is open, but you're still sitting there in the cage going, I don't know that I want to go. I've got a new deck that we're using today. It's called the Place Oracle, and it is literally about places, and sometimes I'll see these places metaphorically, and sometimes I will see them literally. So I'll tell you what I see. We'll go at some tarot after this. We've got the whip and the broom, and if that isn't eclipse energy, I don't know what is. You never hear when a whip is coming. I don't know if you've ever had somebody use one around you, but I have, and you just never hear the whip coming, but you hear the snap by the ear if it comes close, and it is something that might sting. I'm just going to say it'll happen quickly, and it just may sting. What do we have here for Gemini, please? Tell me about Gemini. It's going to bring things into balance, though. Whatever you're losing, whatever is leaving, It's going to sting. You're not going to like it, but it's going to bring the rest of your life into balance. We've got the living room. It says comfortable space, family gathering. There could be something quick and sharp that happens at a family gathering, Gemini. And it might be in a comfortable space. So this could be in your own home or in the home of someone else. We have the bench. It says rest and relaxation, seating comfort, pause and ponder. It feels as though I'm supposed to tell you that if something happens within, it feels like this something quick is going to happen or fall away. And it feels like I thought we'd left that in the past, but possibly it comes back up again because, you know, after the Pisces moon, we're in the flashlight in the basement, right? Things we thought were done were actually just hidden. So it almost feels like I want you to get up and walk away. Get up and go to the porch. Get up and go to the deck. Try to keep your emotional system, I would say, try and keep it at rest. It says rest and relaxation, seating comfort, pause and ponder. So please pause before you say something. I know, Gemini, I know. You're the person who's like, nope, I'm just going to say it. Not my problem. If you don't like what I'm going to say. I know, Gemini. All right, one more card. We've got the ship. And so the ship is, you know, on top of the water. The ship isn't sinking. The ship is still floating. I'm going to say that whatever is going on here is changing. It's changing direction. It's changing the direction of the relationship of the family unit. It's changing something here. It feels like you need to take a time out and allow for the change to happen, no matter if it stings or not. Bottom of the deck, we have damp and rainy realm. It says moisture abounds, wet serenity, drizzle, delight. It feels like it could be emotions. Emotions, because we've got water here and emotions here. It feels like this is going to be an emotional journey. It does feel like it could be a gathering of friends or family in the living room. Whoever's living room that is, I want you to just get up and walk out. If there's something that you would rather just say, look, back your shit up. Try not to do that. Please try not to do that. I know it's hard. It's not easy. But yeah, let's find out what else is going on for you, Gemini. Look, it's the in-between. Whatever you say, whatever you do is likely going to come to fruition here. In some cases, it will. And so just be aware, be very acutely aware of your words and your actions at this time. Tell me more about Gemini. Tell me about Gemini in the in-between, please. In between these eclipses. Gemini, I'm not going to be doing an extended for this reading, but if you're interested in a private read, please look in the pinned comment if you're interested. There are links there. If you're interested in a private read, live or pre-recorded. We've got the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the Devil. We've got the Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands. Look, there's fire here, right? Fire, 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 devil. Family. Foundational things. Trying to build a foundation. It does feel like there is either a group of people or a family group, and it feels like we don't necessarily get along, but I'm really trying hard to build a foundation where I can finally come to this place where I invest in you and you invest in me. It does feel like there is the ability for things to get a little bit out of hand emotionally, and that will happen, right, when we're in this family energy. I think that you thought that we had already left this behind, or that this was already dead and dusted, or I thought that we had already talked about this. It was already done, that we'd already buried it, right? But I don't think you have. I feel like you, because the 8 is here, I feel like you have buried it, but I don't think the other person has. The other person is still watching their back. I think that you can get yourself out of this in a creative way if you should choose to do that. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you not to do what you're going to do. You're going to be you, right? Tell me about this here. What is this? The Emperor's in the reverse. I'm just going to say something's going to be out of control or out of your control. Two of Cups. And the Wheel. Oh boy, what is going on here? Gemini, it feels like something's about to change. Look, it could be an argument that you get into with the patriarch or the matriarch. So mother or father, grandmother, somebody who owns the house. Maybe you're all going to their place. It feels like there is a bond of some type here. It feels like familial or friendship bond. But then we have the Wheel. Things are destined to change. I think that you get together with a group, whoever they are. It could even be a work party. But it feels like you get together with them and you are bonded to this person. But it feels like they take liberties. I'm just going to say that every time I pull the Emperor when they're in the reverse, I'm always connected to a different king. And this time I'm connected to the King of Swords in the reverse. It seems to me someone says something out of line. They say something that is, I'm going to say backhanded, a backhanded compliment. Something that is kind of derogatory or negative, but they try and smooth it over with something that is not derogatory or negative. It stings. It's something that comes back into balance, but I feel that you are the one who has the power to stop it in its tracks. You're the one that's in charge. This person is not in charge. They're kind of out of control. They're a bit of a wild card. But this is someone you have a bond with. So this could be your boss at work who's had too much to drink at the party, at the work party. It could be somebody who has that you're bonded to in terms of family, for sure. But it does feel like there is some type of expansion we're looking at. Things are about to open wider or get bigger. And so that tells me in this case, it could be that this rose sitting in the cage could be like the Emperor has opened the door and invited you into the arena to fight with the lions. And you're like, nope, I am not going to be provoked to that. It feels like there is something that you thought we'd already put to rest and somebody's going to bring it up again. So I feel like you go to this family gathering, because it does say family gathering here. You go to this family gathering or this gathering of people who seem like family, so they could be workmates, they could be soulmate tribe. And I feel like you go there with the thought process of, I'm here to build a foundation, because I do want to invest. I want to give you time, energy, effort, money, whatever it is. And I feel like you no longer want to be worried or scared or upset. And I don't think you're scared. Understand what I mean by that is you don't want to, when the Emperor gets out of hand, you don't want to be the one that steps up and blows it all out of proportion. It feels like that there is a fear that you go in with wanting to figure things out and build a foundation to be cooperative and collaborative, and somebody else here is sitting in their toxic energy eyeing you from the other side of the room, right? Tell me more about this. We've got the Hanged Man, we've got the Five of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the Two of Swords. So it does feel like you might take the seat on the opposite side of the room. It feels like you don't want to have any regrets, and so you are not making eye contact. You're not looking at this person. It feels like the Judgment card is, we've been here before. I don't want to aggravate the demons within. It feels like we've been in this space before, this place before. You're being given another moment in time to be able to show everyone around you that you can remain in control, that you are in control of the situation, regardless of this Emperor. This person seems like a person who gets drunk and belligerent, someone who says things out of one side of their mouth to one person and another on another person. It feels like they, from a distance might say, oh, those are nice pants you're wearing, but they're bigger than they were last year. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like that kind of rude, backhanded sort of comment that we thought we had left in the past, but it feels like it's following you into this family gathering or this group gathering. You're making a decision to, this decision that you're making here is one that is to preserve the situation, the happiness of the moment. You might be coming together for some type of dinner, celebration, birthday party, and understand that this can be the whole of September, right? This could be the whole of September, you want to remain in this energy. You are trying to remain in this energy in September because crazy lady in Canada on the internet told you to watch your mouth. Told you to make sure that you're trying to keep, your wits about you because you don't want to cause any calamities. And so I feel like you're just going to get up and walk out is what you're going to do. You're going to get up and say, you know what? I'm just going to take my drink and get some fresh air outside. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Cups in the reverse, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So there it is. I feel like you are the one who is dealing with the Knight of Cups in the reverse, which is unrequited love, which I think is coming from the Emperor, whoever they are, feminine or masculine. It feels like what you decide to do is take your drink, as I said, she's holding a cup, and go outside. It feels like you want to deal with it in a very kind and compassionate way. You understand that this person doesn't have the ability but to offer unrequited love. And I think that you are making a really good and solid decision to give your time, effort, and energy in the right way. Because you don't want to cause anything that is going to happen that people are going to say, yeah, we're just not inviting Gemini to the party next time. Tell me what this is. I'm just going to ask about this Wheel of Fortune because it keeps grabbing my attention. Tell me why the wheel is here. We've got the Moon, got the Fool, we've got the Seven of Wands. So I think that it's telling you to stand up for yourself here. The way it's telling you to stand up for yourself is by taking a leap of faith into the Moon energy, which is, I'm just going to leave it where it is. I'm just going to let it be in the basement in the dark. I'm going to shut off the flashlight and leave it where it is. It feels like you're supposed to take this, you're supposed to build the boundary between you and the Emperor and walk away, is what it feels like. Some of you will, some of you won't. Don't care if you do or you don't care if you don't. I mean, it is totally up to you, right? But it does feel like you are going to come across this situation here. We've got the Four of Wands and we've got the Ten of Wands. Oh, it might be a little bit of jealousy. Maybe that's why this person's being hard on you. Maybe you're about to go on a cruise, or you're about to travel, or you're a person who is attached to your emotions. And so you are being kind and empathetic and sweet and compassionate here. Tell me about the Ten of Wands and the Four of Wands. It feels like you just want to remove the familial burden. We've got the Temperance card, we've got the Five of Wands, and we've got the Eight of Swords, but you just don't know how to do that. It does feel like that you don't know what to do with the situation. It feels like you are fighting the urge to just say, look, you're just going to need to sit down and shut up for a minute while I say something. And I feel like it has the potential to get really emotional. But Temperance here tells me that you go into this situation feeling unburdened, feeling like you're putting these burdens down, and I don't even want to talk about this argument or this fight. It feels like this Temperance, you go in with this healing energy of, I'm just going to hold back, is what it is. This is indecision. I'm just not going to make a decision until everything happens the way it's going to happen. We do have your energy here, Gemini. It feels like you are going to be quiet. This person, you can see that their eyes are closed, their hands are up, like, whoa, relax, relax, relax. It feels like you are going in there with a very stable energy, but I really think with this ship here that somebody is upset with you. Yeah, look at this, because you've got status, you've got money, you're doing really well in your life. It feels like you're the Empress in the upright, whether you're feminine or masculine, and this person is the Emperor in the reverse. So they're miserable. They're miserable in their life. They've got a lot of material possessions, but they take everything for granted. I feel like you're a person who does not, that you're kind and loving and nurturing. You're somebody who is really I would say thriving in your life, that you're really thriving in your life because you're the spiritual one. I love it. I love that. So the Page of Swords is here. And so I feel like you are a teacher, you are a student of spiritualism. You're a student of the self. And I feel like you have already had the conversation with yourself. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm not going to be provoked. I am the Empress. I'm going to keep my boundaries. I'm going to keep in this energy of staying steady, staying afloat. But I feel like if you are the Empress, it feels like somebody here is like, oh, you think you're better than us because you're going on a cruise next week. It feels like you might be going on a trip. Maybe you're going on their trip of a lifetime. It feels like this person is challenging you because you two are at the same level. So look, you could be the child. This could be the father. You could be somebody who's done really well in your life in the family, and this could be your older brother. It feels like somebody here is not really happy that you've had so much success, that you look really good, that you've had some sort of glow up, that your life is going really well, that you're stable, your money is good, and now it's time for you to take your trip of a lifetime. So I feel like you have learned you have learned your spirituality. It feels like you have become the student of the hermit. You've spent time with yourself and decided, I'm not going to let anybody pull me out of my character. I think that's what's going on. So I feel like, be careful what you say, be careful what you wish for, be careful what you do. We are in the in-between. And I feel like you need to accept what is going to fall away. And if this person falls away, they do. Bottom of the deck, ooh, the Magician in the reverse and Justice. Somebody here is going to try and manipulate the people around them, but it's not going to work. I feel like they've been trying to manipulate the people around them to think about you in a certain kind of way for a while, and I don't think they're having any success because Justice is here. I think people see this Emperor in the reverse for who they are, and which means that you don't have to do a damn thing. They're digging their own hole. Just hand them the shovel. They're digging their own hole. I feel like this person's been trying to manipulate Justice around them for a while, but there are people that are too steady, slow moving, understand. They want to analyze the situation. They're not judging you, so don't worry about it. I would say they're not judging you, so don't judge yourself. All right. I'm going to leave that right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. If you do want a private read, please go look at the links underneath the video, and you will find the link to Hypsee. Please go check out my pricing and my schedule, and I'd be happy to talk to you live or give you a pre-recorded reading. I'm going to go for now. Take care, Gemini. Hope you're well. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.